and every session will be recorded, and the access to the recording will be given to everybody. I will upload these recordings in the Google Drive, and I will give the access to the Google Drive, and the access is for lifetime, right? Anytime you can use it. And I hope everybody is able to see my screen. Here, SAP. SAP stands for Systems, Applications and Products in Data Processing. So this is the amplification. So SAP stands for Systems, Applications and Products in Data Processing. This is the amplification, or this is the expanded form of SAP. So actually, this SAP is called an ERP package or ERP software. Before going to understand what is SAP, first we have to understand the concept of ERP. So ERP means Enterprise Resources Planning. So this is again the expanded form of ERP. So enterprise means any business organization is called enterprise. Then every enterprise or every business organization, while doing the business, they use some resources like men, materials, machines, and money. These are called 4 M's because every resource name is starting with the M. So these are called 4 M's. And these are called natural resources. These are not plentifully available for any business enterprise. Now, what is the main objective of any business enterprise? Earning maximum profits. You take any business enterprise, the main objective is to earn maximum profits. It is not just earning the profits, earning maximum profits. For that purpose, every business enterprise is having only 2 alternatives. One is, in order to increase the profits, we have to increase the sales. Again, to increase the sales, we have to increase the production. Again, to increase the production, we have to increase the utilization of these 4 resources, but these are not plentifully available for any business organization. As a result, the business organizations cannot go on increasing the profits beyond a certain point. So there is a limitation to the organization's capacity to go on increasing the profits beyond a certain point. So the first alternative is not compatible for the organizational object. Then what is the second alternative? You take any business enterprise, whether large or small, whatever it is, it will have some amount of resources. So whatever the amount of resources they are having, they have to use them in the most effective and efficient manner. In this context, the concept of planning will come into existence. The concept of planning will come into existence. So enterprise resources planning means planning for the effective utilization of available resources of the company to maximize the profits. Simply saying, that is the concept of ERP. Again, I'm repeating. Enterprise resources planning means planning for the effective utilization of available resources of the company to maximize the profits. So in simple words, the concept of ERP contains some techniques and procedures which help the business enterprise to maximize the profits by enabling them to utilize the available resources in the most effective and efficient manner. So that is the concept of ERP. Basically, the ERP is based on the integrated management of all the departments in the enterprise. So what is the integrated management? We have to provide the links among the departments in the organization in the form of software. That is called integrated management. So how that integration is achieved with the help of ERP, I will be going on discussing now. Now, let us try to understand how the concept of ERP helps the business enterprises to maximize the profits. Before that, we should understand what are the problems faced by the companies in the non-ERP environment. For example, if you take this is an organization, in every organization, we have many departments like finance and accounts, marketing department, sales department, production planning and control department, production department, HR, purchase. Like that, in every company, we have a number of departments. And every department has to work towards the achievement of organizational objective, that is maximization of the profits. During this process, every department will have their own goals and objectives. The goals and objectives of the individual departments are to be synchronized with the organizational objective, that is maximizes the profits. Now let us see what happens during this process. Here, if you take finance and accounts department, its main objective is to generate the maximum rate of return on the investment. Here, investment means shareholders' investment. In order to generate the maximum rate of return on investment, this finance department always tries to reduce the expenditure wherever it is possible. By reducing the expenditure, the finance department wants to maximize the profits. Now, if you take the marketing department, its main objective is to create the market for the organizational product so that demand is increased, sales is increased, and profits are increased. So, in order to create the market for the organizational products, this marketing department always wants to conduct some advertising activities or some sales promotion activities which involves spending of funds. Here, if you notice, both the finance department and marketing department, both the departments are trying to maximize the profits, but the way in which they are trying is different. The finance department is trying to maximize the profits by reducing the expenditure. But at the same time, the marketing department is also trying to maximize the profits, but by incurring some additional expenditure. It leads to conflict between finance department and marketing department. Means both the departments are pulling the organization in the opposite direction. So it leads to friction or conflict between these two departments. Let us take one more example. Here, the production planning and control department, generally they want to maintain minimum stock of the materials as far as possible. Materials means here raw materials, work in progress, finished goods, packing materials, stores and spares, like that. So this production planning department wants to maintain minimum stock of the materials to minimize the carrying cost. What is the carrying cost? Here, if you have to maintain the inventories of the materials, some working capital is locked. And obviously, we borrow the working capital from the bank. On that working capital, you have to pay interest to the bank. So interest on working capital is one aspect of the carrying cost. Then we have to pay for the warehouse rent. We have to pay for the salaries and wages of the people working in the warehouse department. So all these expenses coming together is called carrying cost. In order to minimize the carrying cost, this production planning and control department wants to maintain minimum stock of the materials as far as possible. But at the same time, the production department wants to have optimum stock of the materials so that their production function is not disturbed due to want of materials. Again, there exists the conflict between production department and planning department. Like that, in the real-time organizations, there exist number of conflicts among the departments. If that is the case, the organization cannot run smoothly. That's why the top management has to bring the coordination among these departments to see that organization runs smoothly. Because of this fact, the top management cannot concentrate on the performance analysis and strategic decision-making process. Always, the top management has to spend its time on bringing the coordination. As a result, it cannot find the sufficient time to concentrate on performance analysis and strategic decision-making process. This is the biggest problem faced by the companies in the non-ERP environment. Now, let us take one more example. In order to increase the profitability of the company, every department has to perform their daily functions in the most effective manner. You know, every department has to perform some functions daily. These functions are to be performed in a most effective manner. For that purpose, every department requires some information from the other departments. For example, if you take the production planning and control department, its main daily function is to prepare the production schedule. Production schedule means just chalking out a plan when to start the production, in how much quantity the product has to be produced, by which date the production has to be completed. This is called production schedule. In order to prepare the production schedule, this production planning and control department requires some information from the sales department, that is the date of delivery required by the customer. Obviously, if you know the date of delivery required by the customer, accordingly you can schedule the production, right? Means Here, the production planning department is depending on the sales department for the information purpose. Let us take one more example. You take the purchase department. Its main daily function is to procure the raw materials required in the production department. So every time the purchase department is depending on production department for the information regarding what are the raw materials required. Now, if you take finance and accounts department, you take accounts department. It has to account for all the expenses and the incomes which are taking place in every department daily. So the accounts department is depending on all other departments for the information purpose. Like that, every department is depending on other departments for the information purpose. Yeah. So in order to see that every department functions smoothly, we have to ensure that there is the uninterrupted flow of information among all the departments. But it's not there in the real-time organizations. Because you may think that every department is computerized. Yes, every department is computerized, no doubt about it. But each department is using one software manufactured by different companies. For example, production planning and control department is using one software manufactured by A company. Sales department is using one software manufactured by B company. Production department is using one software manufactured by C company. Purchase department is using one software manufactured by D company, and so on. So every department uses different softwares manufactured by different companies. In that case, these softwares cannot be integrated with each other. As a result, there is no the free flow of information among the departments. So every department has to wait for some time for getting the information from the other departments. As a result, the length of the production cycle is increased. What is the production cycle? The time taken from the point of procurement of materials till you realize the finished goods into cash resources by sales. This is called production cycle. Always, the amount of the working capital required by the companies depends upon the length of the production cycle. If the length of the production cycle is more, you require more working capital. If you use the more working capital, you have to pay more interest to the bank. It is the burden on the profitability of the company. In that case, how can you maximize the profits? So this is another problem faced by the companies in the non-ERP environment. Now, let us take one more example. Today, the purchase department has purchased materials from a supplier. Along with the materials, supplier will send the purchase invoice. Then that purchase invoice is entered in the purchase department by the purchase clerk. Then the same invoice is to be sent to the accounts department, wherein that purchase invoice has to be recorded in terms of values. Means in the accounts department, we have to post accounting entries. So here, one purchase invoice is recorded 2 times. Once in the purchase department, again in the finance and accounts department. This is called duplication of work. Same invoice is recorded 2 times in 2 departments, which is called duplication of work. Here, we are paying the salaries to the people in the purchase department and also to the people in the accounts department. But both the persons are performing the same work, which leads to wastage of money resources. So if you waste your money, how can we maximize the profits? Absolutely no. So this is one more problem. Another problem faced by the companies in the non-ERP environment. Let us take one more example. Here, the effectiveness of the organization depends upon the quality of the decisions taken by the management people. Always, the management has to take right decisions in right time. For that purpose, they should be provided with the right information. Let us take one example. We have the general manager finance. For a particular decision-making purpose, he wants to know what is the total amount of purchases that have been done as on today. In that case, the purchase department will give one figure and the finance and accounts department will give another figure, because your purchase department is in Mumbai and accounts department is in Hyderabad. So each and every individual invoice received by the purchase department cannot be sent immediately to accounts department in Hyderabad. So the purchase department will bundle together some invoices, and this bundle is sent to the accounts department in Hyderabad once in 2 days, once in 3 days. Then only they're accounted in the accounts department. This is called time lag. Because of the time lag, there is the difference of information given by the purchase department and accounts department. Means the general manager finance is not provided with the right information. In that case, how can he take the effective decisions? Then how can the profits of the enterprise can be maximized? Absolutely no. Like that, there are many problems in the non-ERP environment. So how to eliminate these problems? In this particular context, the concept of ERP has been developed. As I said, every ERP is based on the integrated management of different departments in the enterprise. So how that integration is achieved? Here, for any ERP, we maintain one common database. Without a common database, there is no concept of ERP. Please remember. So common database or central database. So here, we are maintaining one common database in the organization. Then this common database is given access to every department in the organization, subject to some restrictions regarding data access. Why we have to maintain the restrictions regarding the data access? Because here your main goal is to provide the information to every department to the extent it is required, and at the same time we have to ensure the security of the data. That's why we have to maintain the data restrictions regarding the access. And one more thing is, once you start moving up in the organizational hierarchy, the extent of access given is also increased, right? So, okay, let us assume we are maintaining the common database and that is given access to every department. Now let us see how the previously discussed problems are going to be eliminated. Here you take production planning and control department. This department requires the date of delivery required by the customer. So how that information is readily made available? Whenever the salesperson accepts the order from a customer, he prepares one document which is called sales order. The sales order contains information like name of the customer, his address, his contact information, the product for which is giving the order, quantity, quality, price, and the date of delivery required by him. So all that information is contained in the sales order. Then that sales order is entered into common database by the salesperson. Then the person who is responsible to prepare the production schedule, he will be given access to that sales order. Then he can just log on into common database. He will identify the sales order. From the sales order, he can find out the date of delivery required by the customer. And accordingly, he will prepare the schedule. In that way, the information required by production planning department is readily made available. Wherever may be your sales department, wherever may be your production department. Now, let us take the case of purchase department. Whenever there is a requirement for any material in the production department, the production clerk or the production person or the supervisor will prepare one document which is called material requisition. That material requisition contains the details of the materials required and the quantity required. Then that is entered into common database. So here we have warehouse department. So that warehouse person will be given access to that sales order, material requisition. So that warehouse person will just log on into common database. He will find out, he will identify the material requisition, and from the material requisition, he will identify the quantity and the material required, and accordingly, he will issue the material to production. This is the case when the material is available in the warehouse. Suppose if the material is not available in the warehouse, then the warehouse clerk will prepare one more document which is called purchase requisition. The purchase requisition contains the information like materials required to be purchased and the quantity required. Then that is entered into common database by the warehouse clerk. Then the purchase clerk will be given access to that purchase requisition. So the purchase clerk will just log on into common database. He will identify the purchase requisition, and from the purchase requisition, he can find out the details of the materials required, and accordingly, he will start his procurement activities. That's how the information required by every department is readily made available immediately. As a result, the time lag or the time wastage is eliminated. So the length of the production cycle is reduced. As a result, the amount of the working capital you require is reduced. Then the burden of the interest is also reduced. And to that extent, the profits are maximized. I hope it's clear for everybody. Now let us take how the duplication of work is eliminated. Here, in the case of ERP, whenever the purchase clerk receives the purchase invoice from the supplier, that is entered into common database by the purchase clerk. Then automatically the ERP system will post accounting entries in accounts department automatically. Then where is the need to send the same invoice again to accounts department? That's how it is enough if you enter the purchase invoice only once. Then it will have the effect on all the relevant departments in the organization. That's how the duplication of work is eliminated. So we can use the available human resources in the most effective manner so that the profits are maximized. Now let us take the example of information required by General Manager Finance. He wants to know what is the total amount of purchases that have been made as on today. In that case, he need not ask anybody in the organization. He can just log on into common database, and from the common database, he can find out the total amount of purchases that have been made as on today. Because whenever the purchase invoice is entered by the purchase clerk into the common database, the ERP system will update all the relevant information like inventory balance of respective materials, account balances of vendors, and the total amount of purchases of the material. Like that, every relevant information is automatically updated by the ERP system. So by just logging into common database, you can find out the total amount of purchases that have been made as on today. Means the General Manager Finance is provided with the right information. As a result, he can take optimum decisions. As a result, the profit of the enterprise is optimized. That's how the concept of ERP helps the business enterprise to maximize the profits. So for any ERP, the main feature is common database. Without common database, there is no ERP. So in a nutshell, how the ERP helps. All the data is available in the central database. Then it eliminates data redundancy. Data redundancy means data duplication. I already explained you how the data duplication is eliminated. Then data is updated and available in real time. Immediately, the data is available to everybody, whoever wants it in the organization. Then one point entry of data. It is enough if you enter the data in one department. As a result, all the relevant departments will be updated automatically. Then best business practices. Here, every ERP has been developed after carrying on research on the business practice of different companies. What are the business practices that were thought best by the ERP companies? They have incorporated those business practices in their ERP products. So when you use the ERP product, you can also make the use of the best business practices. That's how the performance is also increased. Then modular system. Modular system means for every department, for management of every department, there is a separate software within the same ERP product. For finance department, you have the separate software. For a HR department, you have the separate software. For production, you have the separate software. And all these softwares are part of only one ERP product. That is called modular system. Then can implement only required functions. Functions means departments. Here, we can use this ERP product in all the departments or in some of the departments required by the company. It's not necessary to use the ERP in all the departments. Then others can easily be integrated later. Means today or this year, our company has started using the ERP software in the finance department and production department. So after using this ERP for 1 year, the management has been very much convinced with the performance of the ERP. Then next year, they want to use the same ERP in the sales department and purchase department. That is quite possible. So the new ERP, the new software of purchase and sales department can be integrated easily. Then managers can utilize their time in analysis and spend less time in the coordination effort. This is what I explained to you. This is the very, very important advantage of any ERP. Always the top management has to concentrate its time and efforts on the performance analysis and decision making. Because of this ERP, the coordination is easily provided among the departments. As a result, management need not spend their time on the coordination effort. The saved time can be invested by the management in the performance analysis. Then it improves customer satisfaction. So when you're able to provide the services to the customers in the most effective manner, the customer satisfaction is also automatically increased. It leads to attraction of new customers. That's how your sales are also increased. When the sales are increased, your profits are also increased. So this is the concept of ERP. So there are many ERP products in the market like SAP, Oracle, BAN, PeopleSoft, JD Edward, Ramco. Like that, there are hundreds and thousands of ERP products available in the market. Then why we have to use SAP only? I will tell you. Here, if you take Oracle ERP product, it is specialized in the management of your finance department. If you take BAN, it is specialized in the management of your production department. If you take PeopleSoft, it is specialized in the management of HR department. Like that, every other ERP is specialized in the management of one or two departments in the company. But if you take SAP, it provides the solutions for the effective management of every department in the organization. And the level of integration you can achieve with the help of SAP is very high when compared to other ERP products. That is why SAP is because of these two reasons, SAP is the #1 ERP product in the world. As of now, this SAP ERP product is enjoying nearly 48% of international market share. 48%. And the remaining 52% is shared by all other ERP products in the market together. 52% is shared by hundreds and thousands of other ERP products in the market. That's why we have a lot of employment opportunities only in case of SAP. So in the ERP sector, right, SAP is the world leader, world #1 leader. If you take the total IT sector, SAP is the 4th largest company. If you take only ERP sector of IT, it is the 1st largest company. Now, here I told you that SAP stands for Systems, Applications, and Products in Data Processing. What does it mean actually? Now we are going to understand that. Here, data processing means what? First, what is data? Data means it is the collection of facts and figures. Data means it is the collection of facts and figures. What does it mean? For example, this is December, right? Okay. In the month of November, our total production is 100,000 units or 1 lakh units. And we have 100 workers. This is called data. That's it. In the month of November, right, our total production is 1 lakh units or 100,000 units. And our labor force is 100. This is called data, nothing else. Now, the production manager wants to know the performance of the worker in the month of November. This data is not giving any clue to the production manager. Total production is 100,000 units. Total workforce is 100. So what? What is the conclusion you can arrive? As it is not possible to arrive any conclusion. That's why the data has to be processed. See, processing means executing set of operations on the data elements. Executing set of operations on the data elements. So operations means it may be arithmetic operations, algebraic operations, or just to rearrangement of the data elements. That is called processing. Here, what I am doing is, I am performing a small division operation between these two data elements. I am dividing the total production by number of workers. This is called processing, nothing else. So when you divide total production with the number of workers, the result is 1000 units. So this is called information. So 1000 units means this is called actual productivity. Productivity means average production. Total quantity of production is 1 lakh divided by 100, which means 1000 units per worker. This is called productivity. Productivity means average production per worker. This is called information. So information is the result of data processing, as simple as that. Now, how this information is useful to the production manager to analyze the performance of the worker? For every key performance indicators, we have the standards in the organization. For every performance indicators, we have the standards. Let us assume that in the month of November, the standard productivity should be 1200 units. Means on an average, every worker should produce 1200 units. But actually, how much they have produced? 1000 units. So the actual productivity is less than standard productivity. Then we can decide that the workers have performed inefficiently. Now, what are the reasons for this inefficiency? These reasons are analyzed by the management. See, for example, during the analysis, the management found that we have used inferior raw materials in the production process. As a result, there are frequent breakdowns in the process. Means there are breakdowns of the plant and machinery. So we have to, when the plant and machinery is broken down, we have to reset up the plant and machinery, right? In that way, we lost some time. When you lose time, obviously the production will come down, right? That is the reason for the fall in the actual production. If this is the reason, the management has to take the disciplinary action against the people in the purchase department. Why the purchase people procured inferior materials? Or it has to take the disciplinary action against the people in the quality department or inspection department. That's how they can fix the responsibility for the underperformance. Okay, let us assume one more reason. There is no any problem regarding the quality of the materials. The quality of the materials are very fine and there were no any breakdowns in the manufacturing process. And another reason they found is some skilled workers have left your company in the month of November. And the same trend, the management has been noticing since 3 months. Every month, some of the skilled workers are leaving your company. And obviously, if the skilled workers leave your company, production will come down obviously, right? So if this is the reason for the underperformance, the management has to reconsider their employee policies. They have to analyze why the people are leaving my enterprise, how to retain them, how to retain the people in the organization, whether we have to increase the fringe benefits. Fringe benefits means real wages, or whether we have to improve the working conditions in the company. Like that, the management has to rethink about their employee policies. See, just one piece of information is giving how many number of avenues to the management to analyze its performance. So how this much analysis is possible? Through information. Information is possible through data processing. Clear? So SAP stands for systems and applications and products in data processing. Systems means management information systems and also some hardware systems. Systems refers to some hardware systems and also management information systems. Then applications. Application means software. MS Office is an application, right? Like that, SAP is also a software and products. See, SAP refers to some hardware requirements, some softwares, and some products, which can be used by the companies in their data processing needs to arrive meaningful information. SAP stands for some hardware systems or some hardware requirements, some softwares, and some products which can be used by the companies in their data processing needs to arrive meaningful information. That is the exact meaning of SAP. Systems, applications, and products in data processing. I hope it's clear. So, this SAP software was developed by a company which is called SAP.AG. It is a German company. It is the name of the German company which developed this SAP software. It was established. This SAP company was established in 1972, and it's a German company. Its headquarters are at Waldorf, Germany. That is the brief history of the company. We don't require anything more than this. Now, let us see the evaluation of the product. How the product has been evaluated till now. In 1972, the SAP company has developed a product known as SAP R1 suite. In 1980s, SAP company has developed a product known as SAP R3 suite. And in 1990s, it has developed a product known as SAP R3 suite. So, this is the name of the product what we are using now, SAP R3 suite. And in this particular product, the current version is EHP 7. Of course, EHP 8 also has come. See, the name of the version we are using now is ECC 6.0, EHP 7. And very recently, EHP 8 also has come. So, ECC stands for ERP Central Component. So, on this version only, I am going to provide you the training. It is the latest version. And on this latest version only, I am going to provide you the training. So now let us try to understand what is this SAP R3 suite. You know the meaning of SAP now, right? Very clearly. Then suite means, the dictionary meaning of suite is combination of some objects. That is the meaning of the suite. Here, if you refer the word suite to the hotel suite contains some rooms, right? Like kitchen, hall, bedroom, like that. This is the combination of all the rooms. That's why that is called suit. And if you refer the suit what we wear now, it will have one shirt, one blazer, one tie, one scarf, one trouser. So this is the combination of all these objects. That is why that is called suit. Referring to SAP, suit means it is a combination of different softwares to be used to manage your different departments in the company. That is the meaning of the word suit, nothing else. But the most important wording you have to understand is R3. R by 3 or R3. Here, R stands for real-time data processing. Real-time data processing means when we perform an operation on the data elements, the related database is instantly updated. The related database is instantly updated. For example, if you take bank ATM, when you draw money from the bank ATM, right, you will get the updated statement immediately. Why? The bank ATMs are working on the principles of real-time data processing only. And another examples are railway reservation systems, flight reservation systems. For that matter, every facility you are enjoying in your daily life is the result of real-time data processing only. So SAP also uses the same real-time data processing concept. That's why when the purchase invoice was posted in the purchase department, your account balance of the materials and vendors are also updated in the accounts department. That is the result of real-time data processing. So SAP also uses the same real-time data processing. Of course, not only SAP, every ERP also uses the same real-time data processing concept. That is why SAP has incorporated the letter R in the name of its product. That is the meaning of R. Then coming to 3. 3 stands for 3-tier architecture. Actually, it refers to the hardware setup you require to use the SAP software. See, we have to understand a concept of client to server technology. So client to server means what? Here we have to understand the client and servers from two perspectives. One is hardware perspective, number 2, software perspective. Here from the hardware perspective, client and server both are computer systems only. But the servers are with large storage capacity and the clients are with small storage capacity. That is only the difference. Now, coming to software perspective. Here, what is the function of the server system? The server system will store some data. Then the server system is connected to some other computer systems. They are called client systems. So the client systems will send some request to the server system regarding data processing. So one client system is there. So it has to send some request to the server regarding some data processing. So here, client system is a computer system. What is computer? It's a mechanical and electronical device. It doesn't have the brain like a human being. So in order to send the request to the server system, it doesn't know how to send the request. So the human being has to give some instructions to the client computer system. That set of instructions is called program. Set of program is called software. So client system is a software. Now coming to server system. The server is connected to some number of client computer systems. The server system has to receive the request from all the client systems. Based on their request, the server system has to process the data. Again, server system is also a computer. It doesn't know how to process the data. Again, the human being has to give the instructions to the server system on how to process the data. A set of instructions is called program. A set of programs is called software. So server is also a program. Server is also a software. So from the software perspective, server and the client both are softwares talking to each other. That is the meaning of client-to-server technology. And every ERP uses client-to-server technology only. So in the three-tier architecture, three-tier means 3 levels. In the three-tier architecture, we have 3 types of servers. One is database server or database server layer. Number 2, application server layer. Number 3, client or presentation server layer. Means, what is the database server? Simply saying, it is the computer system in which the database of the organization is stored. What does the database contains here? The business transactions incurred and posted every day. The business transactions of the enterprise in day-to-day management are stored in the database. So when you have the database, there comes the question of database management. Who is responsible to manage the database? As a SAP professionals, we are not responsible in any way to manage the database. There are some other database professionals like database managers, database administrators. They will take care of management of the database. This database is managed on the principles of real-time database management systems, which are called RDBMS, Relational Database Management Systems. So there are many RDBMS tools available in the market, like SQL Server, Oracle, DB2. Like that, there are many RDBMS tools available in the market. Based on the budget of the company, they can go for any of the RDBMS tool. But in most of the cases, we use Oracle Database Management System and SQL Server, because these 2 RDBMS tools are considered as most efficient database management tools. That's why in most of the projects, we use the database as Oracle or SQL Server. So that is the thing regarding database. Then application server. Number 2 is application server. Application server means, again, it is the computer system in which the SAP software is stored or hosted. Here software means it contains the programming code or programming logic which is necessary to process your business transactions. So every database server is connected to some number of application servers. APS means application server. Application server 1, application server 2, application server 3. Here we have to have some number of application servers. Why? If you have only one application server, every employee will process the data through that application server only. Then what happens? The load on that particular server will be very high. As a result, system performance will be very low. Then again, you are losing your time. That's why you have to have some optimum number of application servers. So how many application servers we have to have and who will decide? I will tell you within the next few minutes. Then every application server is connected to some number of client systems. Here, this client system may be the laptop, maybe your desktop, and nowadays maybe the mobile or iPad also, right? So these are the client systems which are used by the employees to enter the data, to process the data, to generate the reports, to analyze the reports. These are called client systems. Here, this is called one layer, database server layer. This is another layer, application server layer. And this is third layer. That's why this is called 3-tier architecture, right? One second. This is called 3-tier architecture. This is one layer, this is second layer, and this is third layer. This is called 3-tier architecture. So I presented this architecture in the more refined manner. See, these are all the client systems used by the employees in the company. And all the client systems are connected to different application servers. So the application server contains the processing logic or the programming code. And all these application servers are connected to database server. And this database server is managed on the principles of RDBMS system, Relational Database Management Systems. So here we have 3 levels. That's why this is called 3-tier architecture. 2-tier architecture means 2 levels of servers. Here, sometimes what happens is the application, the SAP software and the database are hosted in the same server. So this is one layer and the clients are another layer. This is called 2-tier architecture. Single tier, R1 means single tier. So in this case, the database, SAP application and also client system or client program are managed in the same system. That is called R1 or single tier. Nowadays, we are not at all using either R1 or R2. We are using only R3 because it is the most effective architecture because we can increase or decrease the size of any layer without disturbing the size of the other layers. That is the meaning of R3. See, 2-tier architecture. In the 2-tier architecture, database and SAP application both are hosted in the same server. That is called 2-tier architecture, right? So this is the technical history of this SAP product, right? Here, let us take one example, simple example, so that we can clearly understand how the data is processed. For example, I am an accountant. So in the organization, I am an accountant. Today, we have paid rent. This is the business transaction. So this business transaction has to be entered into system. When you pay rent, you post one accounting entry, debit rent account, credit bank account. So as a result of this accounting entry, what should be the effect? Your rent account balance has to be increased and bank account balance is to be decreased. That is the effect to be taken. Now, where does the rent account and the bank account balances are existing? In the database server, right? Okay, now here this is my laptop or this is my desktop. So I log on into the system as an accountant. Then I open some screens. Then I enter rent account data to bank. Then I press one button, maybe save button or enter button as the case may be. When you press enter button, what happens? Automatically a request is generated from my desktop. That request is sent to application server 1. What is that request? The request is to increase the rent account balance and decrease the bank account balance. But where does the rent account balance and bank account balance are existing in the database? But here, when my desktop generates the request to increase the rent balance and the bank balance, that request is sent to application server 1. Here in the application server 1, there is no data. It is having only programming code. It knows how to increase the rent account and how to decrease the bank account. That's it. But the data is not there in the application server. So whenever the application server receives the request from the my client system, right? Again, the application server will generate one more request. That request is sent to the database server. What is the request? I require rent account and bank account balance, which is available in your system. So please identify the rent account and bank account and send them back to me. So here, this database server works on the query language. So using that query language, the database server from its database, it identifies the rent account and the bank account. Then these two data elements sent back to application server 1. So in the application server 1, we have the programming logic, how to increase rent, how to decrease that bank. Using that programming logic, the application server will increase the rent account and it will decrease the bank account. The result is sent back to database and also it is displayed on my laptop or desktop. That's how the processing happens. So all this processing happens in fraction of seconds, right? This is called data processing. Now, the name of the product what we are using is SAP R3. I told you, the name of the product what we are using is SAP R3. Now we have to see what is this product. Basically, in SAP R3 product, there are two types of modules. Number one, functional modules. Number two, technical modules. See, under the functional modules, we have financial accounting and controlling, which is simply called FICO, or some people call it as FICO. Then materials management, MM, sales and distribution, SD, human resources management, HR, quality management, QM, plant maintenance, PM, project systems, PS, production planning and control, PPC, real estate management, REM, then workflow. Like that, there are many modules to manage each department in the organization. Each module is used to manage a particular department in the organization. FICO is used to manage your finance and accounts department. Materials management is used to manage your activities in the purchase department. Sales and distribution is used to manage your activities in the sales and distribution department and so on. And each module is a fully developed software. Each module is a fully developed software. You need not write any programming at all. You need not know any programming code. So why they are called functional modules? Each module is used to manage one department in the organization. Department is nothing but function. Finance function, finance department. Purchase function, purchase department. Sales function, sales department. Like that. Each department represents a function. And this module is used to manage one department. That's why they are called functional modules. And all these modules are fully developed softwares. Means there should be a language in which all these modules have been developed. That language is called abap. This is the first technical module. So abap is the own programming language of SAP company. So abap stands for Advanced Business Application Programming Language. Advanced Business Application Programming Language. So this is the first technical module. Then another technical module is BASIS. BASIS. Business Application Software Integrated Systems. This is the, you can assume that this is the own operating system of SAP company. In order to use all these softwares, right, the BASIS operating system should be installed in the client servers. Otherwise, we cannot use it. So these two are called technical modules and these are called functional modules. And remember, all these modules are developed by same company, right? And each module is used to manage one department in the company. As a result, we can integrate the software of one department with the softwares of other departments, because all these softwares are developed by same company and all these softwares are part of same ERP product. But in the case of non-ERP, what happens? Every department is using different softwares manufactured by different companies, so integration was a problem. Now all these softwares are manufactured by the same company and they are part of the same ERP product. That's why integration becomes easy. That is the difference. And one more thing, if you learn any functional module, you get a job as functional consultant. And if you learn any technical module, you get a job as technical consultant. Here, if you want to learn abap, you have to have the programming knowledge. And if you want to learn basis, you have to have the operating systems knowledge and also networking knowledge. But if you want to learn any of the functional modules, it is enough if you have the basic understanding of respective academic subjects, or if you have the working knowledge in the respective departments, or both. That's enough. Remember, you never write a programming code. You never write a single line of programming code. So if you learn FICO, you get a job as FICO consultant. If you learn MM, you get a job as MM consultant, SD consultant, PP consultant, like that. And every day you can use the same link to attend into the class. Okay. And every class I will record, and these recordings will be uploaded in my Google Drive, and I will give the access to the Google Drive, and the access is for lifetime. So this is how we proceed in every class. And at the end of the class, I will provide you the interview questions and other real-time documentations, etc., etc. Whatever the things you require, everything I will provide you to get the job. So tomorrow also we have the class at same time, right? Anand, you have any questions in today's class?
This was fine, sir. Actually, my doubt is, what about the S4 HANA Simple Finance?
S4 HANA Simple Finance is the new product introduced by SAP, right? So, in order to learn S4 HANA Simple Finance, FICO knowledge is must. Complete knowledge of FICO, not only basic knowledge, right?
Okay.
So, unless you learn FICO, you cannot understand S4 HANA Simple Finance.
Will you teach this one also?
Yeah, I will give the training on S4 HANA also. It's a separate batch, separate classes. Once you complete FICO, then you can join S4 HANA Simple Finance.
And SAP GST?
GST is covered, right? See, these are called country-specific taxes, right? So the country-specific taxes are also covered as part of FI.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. Thanks.
Okay. And Devata, you have any questions?
Sir, this is Manohar. No, sir, I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Devata, what's your name? What's your name, you said?
Manohar.
Oh, Manohar. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
I have a question, Mr.
Gloria, tell me.
Okay. The class will be starting 8 Central Time.
Yeah. 8 p.m. CST. Central
Okay.
Time.
Okay, and it's gonna be Monday through Friday?
Yeah, Monday to Friday.
Okay.
Harish, you have any questions?
No, sir. I'm fine.
Okay, then. See
Thanks.
you tomorrow same time. Good night and good day.
Okay, bye.
And you can use the same link every day.
Okay, sir.
Okay, then. Thank you, everybody. Good night and good day.